The Library Board of Trustees meeting. Number 1, is there anything that needs to be added to the agenda at this time? Is there a motion to approve the February 25th agenda as submitted?
I move to approve the agenda as submitted.
Thank you. Is there a motion to approve the consent agenda consisting of the December 3rd, 2025 meeting minutes, the pending deposited gifts report, and the statistical reports as submitted or amended?
I move we accept the consent agenda as submitted.
Thank you.
Is there a second?
Do we need a second?
Oh, for this, yeah.
Okay, do we have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Janet. And who wants to be the second for the first one?
Second.
Thank you, Cynthia. All right, let's get to work. I don't see any visitors. Okay. How about reports from the library friends?
Good afternoon, everyone. Ruth sent along, she doesn't have a significant report, but she sent along a few dates that are coming up. Their next board meeting is on next Wednesday, March 4th at 5:30. Their spring book drive is scheduled Saturday, March 21st from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the main library. And their spring book sale this year will continue the pattern of having it the first weekend in May. So it's May 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. And that's all I have. Thank you.
Foundation.
Hello, the foundation is working on 2 big projects right now. The first is improvements to children's areas across the system. And the second is we are gearing up for another fun-filled summer with summer reading program and our early learning interns. And on that front, I'm excited to share that we have a new funder supporting our early learning internships, and that is Universal Leaf Foundation. We are deeply grateful for their investment in early learning interns, and we look forward to continuing to work with them. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Friends and Foundation. Library Administration. Heather.
Don't really have anything to add to my report. I do want to thank you all for your thoughts and prayers during my recent family disaster, for lack of a better term. So thank you for all of that. And I could have made it through without all of your support. That's all I got.
Heather.
Anything to say about Broad Rock?
I just want to tell you about the event that we had last weekend and an event that's coming up. Last weekend we had the Black History Month celebration that the advisory board, the advisory group for the Broad Rock Library put on, and it was a great success. We had about 129 people show up. We had 8 speakers and an art display, and it was a good time. This is our 9th annual one, and it went really well. And then in April, we're going to be having the Dia de los Niños celebration. We're gearing up for it. We got an anonymous donor of $7,000 this year, so we're going to get to go big. We're going to have community resource tables and an afternoon full of story times and performances from the community. And it's a whole big celebration of literacy and early childhood. And every year it's a great celebration. The first year we had about 20 people show up, and then last year we had over 450. So
No
I'm looking forward to a
kidding.
big crowd this year.
Wow.
I encourage you to all come out. It's April 25th from 12 until 3. Thank you.
Okay. Any questions for Foundation, Friends, or Heather? Okay. Advocacy. I'm going to start off with telling you, one, some administrative changes we're making, and two, talk about how the three boards have worked together on the budget town hall. So administrative changes. First, Antoine, a gift to us as a new member, is going to be replacing Bill Yates as the point person for District 5, Councilperson Lynch. And the reason why is because Antoine lives in District 5, and he knows Councilmember Lynch, and Bill is 100% supportive of this switch. Second administrative change is Antoine has enthusiastically agreed to be part of the advocacy committee. Sharon is going to lead that. Sharon and Antoine are going to drive that agenda, except I will do the facilities expansion with everybody, but since I started it, until my chairmanship ends, which is this summer. So let me see it through as chair, and then we will figure out with Antoine and Sharon how to pass it over and get it all done. So that's administrative changes. Now let's talk about our approach to city administration. You know, we do a great job with council, but we haven't really been all that visible as trustees to our city administrators. And we changed that since January 20th with these budget town halls. And we not only changed it ourselves, we changed it working with the foundation and the Friends. And it's the first time, I think, Susan, you tell me if you're aware of another time, or Clay, where the three groups have actually worked together. So when they first called up the town hall, we had 4 days notice. Susan, Don Treese, Ruth, and I gathered everyone together. They came, Sharon and I went. We made Scott do up a big sign. And I guess I made my husband go too, but he was very happy to do that. And we were the largest contingent of people there, and we just made friends with every city. You walk by us, and we were introducing ourselves, making friends. The next one, because there's a series, was when? Last week?
And Huguenot.
At Huguenot. And do we have the photo?
Fortunately, this laptop's not cooperating with the projector, but hopefully you can get a sense of the photo.
This is why you have a sign. So you can see that amazingly good group. We have Don Treese, we have Cynthia, we have Janet, we have Brent, we have Sharon. Again, the second budget town hall, and we at the library were the most visible team that was there. And and it's in your packet.
Pictures, page 22. Did you say we had the police chief?
Yeah.
And it was the police chief.
Yeah.
Go team.
May I just say that I asked the library group to jump together, and the police chief was there speaking to some of our board of trustees, and when I asked who would hold the sign, he said, "I love libraries, can you take a picture too?" So I wasn't gonna say no to that.
Yeah. Is that so cool? Is that so cool? So we are showing our colors, our support of the library in really visible ways to the city administrators. And as we know, budget comes out this month, and I don't think it's going to hurt. I don't know if it's going to help, but I kind of hope so. So kudos to everyone. There is two more on February 28th. So if anyone can go to those, make sure you grab our sign because that will be a defining, and we like the Richmond library lovers, it's a little less sensitive than Richmond Public Library. Ed, Sharon, do you want to make any additional comments about the budget meetings?
They're very interactive and interesting.
They make you work.
They do make you work. You discuss how you would like percentages of the budget used, and you as a group decide how you want 100% of the budget, and then you get $1,100 to spend.
Yeah, you get to
I don't
figure
know what
that
the
out,
$1,100
Yeah.
but you tell what percentage you want for different expenditures for for the city.
On that one, did you pick a dollar amount on the 11?
Yes, you
Not a
had to pick a
percent, you had to
dollar
pick a
amount.
dollar. It was hard, but I thought it was really fun. I thought it was really fun.
And then you got to hold up this side.
Yeah. Yep, and we're gonna think about how we can use that, but my suggestion is that we circle all of the library parts and use that in some of our advocacy, or just to remind them what the people of Richmond had to say. Yeah. So kudos on all things. Any questions about advocacy? Policy.
I do not have an update.
Perfect. Okay, let's go to board reports. And let me start with myself. So, last year in review was huge for us. And I am so proud of this board because you may have forgotten all of the things you've done, but I want to name 5. First, we had our first trustee-led 3-board retreat last year, right? And we all showed up, and so did our friends and our foundation. That is the way we begin to work together. Second, we had our first comprehensive policy review. During these times, this is the most we can do to protect ourselves and our citizens, so it was critical. Third, we did town hall meetings with almost all of our council members, along with the children's library team at all of our council meetings. So summer reading kickoff in March and April. We'd never done that before. We came as a big group, and let me tell you, numbers matter. If you come just as one person and a reading specialist, yeah. If you come as a couple trustees and a couple of children's and Scott, a group of 5, and you have a sign that you take a picture with for the council, you send it to them, they put it in their newsletter. All these things build our awareness, our importance, and will make a difference when we ask for resources. We got $1 million in CIP funds. We have not gotten CIP funds and that level of CIP funds since I've been on the board. That is significant, and it's being spent and invested very well by Scott. And guess what the final one that we did last year was? We unanimously developed and approved a facilities improvement and expansion plan. And again, making that a priority for our system. So those are just 5 examples of how hard you all have worked and how enormously proud I am of everything that's going on. So kudos, pat yourself on the back, take a deep breath, because guess what this year's gonna be? Even more, because we're rolling. That's all I have to say. Anyone else want to make a comment about last year? Okay, let's go on to finance. And Scott, I think you're back on.
All right, Mr. Yates isn't able to be here today. In your packet, there's a list of the council meetings that are gonna happen in the next, starting March 2nd. So about that time, council's gonna have like a preparation meeting to get ready for how they're gonna proceed. Then the mayor will introduce his budget on March 11th. So the budget team is putting together the budget book right now, preparing the proposed budget. And haven't had a lot of communication with them other than on January 2nd, I did a little report to them that said what we were proposing in our budget request. So the extra things that we are funding and what we want to support. I also outlined why we need personnel, if you look at, so it's this little document right here. And if you look at the tables, all of those are growing coming out of COVID. So showing how we are doing everything we can and returning on our investment that the city makes in us. And so that was helpful in a lot of their deliberations. I also included a map of where all of our libraries are because I want to remind them that we have, where the libraries are, that they're in their neighborhoods, but also that we have 5 north and 3 south of the James. So always trying to remind them of that fact. In the last 2 weeks, they asked, as part of their budgeting process, all departments in the city to recommend what a 2% cut would look like to our FY26 budget. So take our FY26 funds and what would a cut look like? So I prepared a projection of what would be if we had to cut something. I targeted an infrastructure thing that we've been working on the last few years. We've been installing security cameras, and so I cut those out of next year's budget. So we would delay installing security cameras in FY27 if we had to. I also offered a position to be possibly cut, which would be the law library position that's vacant right now, and so we would delay hiring that if they cut our funds. And then we also made some other infrastructure delays. So those are all just proposals. I'm not saying any of them would be accepted, but I had to put something forward for them to consider as a 2% cut. So I was very deliberate in the things that we selected because we wanted to try and do the least amount of harm because service hours and resource and materials are first. We don't want to lose any of our frontline people, and we don't want to cut back on our hours. So trying to make that case that we're moving forward and we need to continue that effort. So I think that hits everything on our budget right now. So we're just waiting for the 11th for the mayor to put his proposal through. I'm very grateful for you all for showing up to these town halls because, as our chair has made clear, they see us, they hear us, and you all are doing a wonderful job of saying how important we are to the community. And it's been funny, this little sheet, my priority is, and then the percentage that they're allocating and the money they're allocating. I think the lowest amount I've seen anybody do for culture and recreation was 5%. I would love to see us get 5% of the city's budget. That would be about 10 times the amount we get now. So I plan to remind them that our citizens have told us they want at least 5%. So let's listen to them.
Yes.
Oh gosh, it's not even a percent. Yeah. So, any questions?
What's the status on the mobile?
Well, we're going to do that in the facilities report. I got an update for you. We'll do that in facilities because that's a facility issue.
I would like these charts to go to Sharon and Antoine and myself as we think about, we being Sharon and Antoine, the next council emails. This is an option for them. And an electronic copy is always easier.
All right.
Okay, you want to go on? Oh, facilities is when you're going to talk about that.
Janet gave us
Okay.
good lead in facilities.
Okay, Janet, facilities.
I understand that the evaluation of the 3 branches is underway. And maybe Scott can give us details. It's to be finished in April. And then I'm very anxious to hear about the mobile library.
So Dewberry Architects were hired to do a assessment of the 3 primary locations that we've identified as priorities for renovations, replacements. So we met with a team of architects and engineers. They've already made their visits to the sites.
Have they?
Taken
Okay.
pictures, looked at the
Okay.
site. We are providing them with drawings and plans, and they'll be able to say, yes, you can put a 20,000 square foot library on Belmont Spot, or no, you can't put it on Belmont Spot. The maximum size you can put here is X, or nothing will work here. You need to look at other things in the vicinity. So they're going to come back with that with Belmont, Westover, and East End. Those are pretty much our oldest locations. They're the most critical. I think an interesting point that we've been reminding people of is the average size of a library that's been built in the last few years in the nation. So does anybody know what that number is, what the square footage is of an average library in the United States?
20,000.
I like that
That-
number.
I
I'd
do
love
too.
that number, yeah. It's 12,500 square feet. Do you know the size of all of our libraries? They're about
Less than
between,
that.
less than that. It's about half of that. Our largest one would be West End, which got an extra 900 square feet when we did the renovation. So they're at about 7,000 square feet. So we are about half the size. And then we also hit them with 50 years. It's been 50 years since we've really added a library or built a library or fixed things in a decent way. So those are really strong points to talk about when we're having our facilities discussions. So I'm excited that we're going to have that report soon. It's an outside party because they listen to experts over. So we're doing our job.
Non-biased?
Non-biased. Yep.
Where are they from? Where are they?
They're Richmond. I think. I don't know how big.
Dewberry is a national firm.
Yeah, they're national.
Yeah.
National, but they have
They-
original.
these people,
Yeah.
yeah.
So we're working with them. It'll be good to see what they can do. And they were the contract. They're a contract architect to the city, so we could procure them quickly and not have to go through a bunch of red tape. There are other architects in the community that have built amazing libraries. I would have loved to have worked with them, but we didn't have the time for that at this point. So this is just a basic survey. Hopefully they come back that we can build a giant building and we'll find some amazing architects to design something and build us something.
Now,
So
they presented it to us or
Yeah.
just to you?
yeah, no, they'll present to us. I'll have them come and present. I
Yeah,
want them
no,
to
they
present to us.
should.
Yeah.
No, they should.
Yeah, this is
Yeah.
the board that authorized it.
Yeah.
Any questions? Next thing, we got a good update. Cheryl and I have been working with the City of Richmond Fleet to procure the bookmobile. So they have been looking at about a 26-foot Freightliner box truck. Think about a big brown UPS truck is what it would kind of look like, but it won't be brown. It'll have ripple dancing on the side of it and a big sticker of some kind. And so they came back with an internal combustion engine vehicle, and so we had to ask them to prepare a cost for what would be to get an electric vehicle. So they've done that. It'll take about 350 to 400 days to get this vehicle. So if we ordered it in April, it would probably be April or May of the next year before we get it. And that's all right, because that'll give us time to get the people in place and refine our strategy and our program for it. But, miracles happen, so we could see. So Cheryl and I have another meeting. We're planning another meeting with the fleet to finalize at least the basic chassis and vehicle and who we're going to get it from. And then the other things will also determine, like shelving, lift, those sorts of things. Those big details we're going to get on there, and then it'll be ordered. So
And it will require a CDL.
no, under 26 feet won't require a CDL. So
So any of us can drive.
yeah. The big thing that we wanted on this was we wanted a lift that's on the back of it. So think of like a lift that drops down and we can roll carts on it, or someone who's needs assistance. If we wanted to allow people to be on board the vehicle, we could allow that. It will have a cool design on it. It'll probably have an awning that we can pull out. It'll be able to do. I think of it more like a mobile library that can set up in place. So supplementing.
Your taps on the side like we do it.
I like the way you're thinking.
Things
I don't
on
know.
brown side.
Let me make a note of that. I'll put that on here. So we'll get that on there.
It's not a deal breaker if it is.
Okay. I'll make Miss Woody wishes taps. Diversity in programming is what we'll frame it as.
You want to appeal to the young people.
You're right. You're right.
must be
We've got
ice
the most
cream
microbreweries in Richmond of any
Side
city.
could be ice cream.
I love it. Children and adults.
I'll serve that.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you.
Is there anything I've left out, Cheryl? Okay.
I'm surprised it took so long.
To get a vehicle?
Yeah.
Well, it's a specialty vehicle. I believe there's crimps in how these vehicles get built. Electric vehicles now are, they're kind of being dialed back. So
Okay.
Have
it's,
to get all the parts.
yeah, think about all the parts, the batteries, the thing. I think they have
Okay.
a challenge assembling these vehicles, and this is now a very specialty vehicle in a specialty vehicle industry. So we're asking for a lot.
So how much, just out of curiosity, how much of our CIP money do we have left over after the site payment for the 3 library?
I forget the cost of, was it like 150 for the, I think it's about 150 for the review.
Yeah.
The bookmobile could run between 600 and 700,000 by the time it's done. So we're going to be eating up a lot of that CIP dollars. The internal combustion engine would be about 30% less expensive than the electric vehicle that we're getting. So that we saw that comparison because they gave us the internal combustion engine first, and then we had to go back to them and get this this electric vehicle. And it's a very special, it's in the packet here. I think I put it in the packet. So you can look very closely at it. Yeah. You can see the version that we're getting and what it'll look like. And that's really an outline of the program, how it would work, where it will go. We proposed all of the different sites, so we wanted to spread it all around town. And then this is the MT50E is the vehicle. So you get a nice view of like the battery structure. The nice thing about that vehicle is it's a clean vehicle. It'll be able to travel all over, pretty much all over the city. I think the range is like 300 miles. We don't ever really drive 300 miles in a day. We'll be able to outfit the main library and power it, recharge it at night in the garage, because I don't know if you've ever noticed, the garage at Main Library was specifically designed for the bookmobile we had in the 70s. And so it has there's already power run to that garage.
Oh,
because
that's cool.
it was a diesel, so back in the olden days, you would plug in diesels when it was cold, although I don't know if it ever got that cold here in Richmond, that you needed to keep a diesel warm, but the power's there. So we just have to add a pedestal. And then you got an idea of what it'll look like. So these images of the bookmobile, that's essentially what it'll look like. And if you look on the inside, it has a lift on the back, and then it has carts that can roll in and roll out. So that was the programming that we came up with. Jen Dool has been my point person on this, helping us gather the information, and Cheryl and the team that's been putting it together. So it's been fun, actually.
Oh,
Exciting.
Yeah.
okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any questions? Okay. Governance, Garrett's not here. I didn't get a note of anything to,
Mr. Graves has put in his reappointment request. So we're going to renew his appointment. Hopefully that should clear. I think we got notice this week, John. I don't know if we've had any other communications with the clerk other than that. So thank you for reapplying. We appreciate you.
Yeah,
Can't
very
go until we
appreciative.
have
Yeah,
several new libraries.
we got a lot of work for you to do.
It's our secret weapon. All right, unfinished business. The only thing I have is the next 3-board retreat, which is we're going to bring back Reagan Flacker from the Library of Virginia, whose whole job is to work with foundation friends and trustees. We had a couple possible themes. The thing that's merging to the front is messaging. It certainly came up when we were preparing for the budget town halls. The friends and the foundation people wanted to be more certain of the kind of messages they should be giving and how they should be giving them. So I think that's going to be the central theme. And I am talking with her over the next 2 weeks. So we'll define more and then we'll just get to decide when. Last time we did it in the evening. We thinking that would work again? Ponder that. I figure that evening is good for crowd control, especially if we can get everyone to have enough notice. Any other unfinished business that we want to talk about? Nope. All right, new business. Anything on the dockets we want to bring up? All right, Antoine, this is just an example of how efficiently we run these meetings.
That is very,
Boom,
very
boom,
important. I
boom.
love efficient meetings, straight to the point, make decisions, let's move on. So I love it.
Let's get going.
Facts.
Yeah. Thank you for 2025. I'm very excited about 2026. And we're going to do even bigger things. All right. Next meeting is March 25th. It's going to be at the East End branch. I will see you all at 11:45. Meeting adjourned.